So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be showing my simple YouTube studio setup. Everything you see here, it's basically at my home in my office. I've turned it into a little bit of a YouTube studio that allows me to create content at home to then upload it as video content to my YouTube channel in order to grow my online business. And I decided to create this video because I had some questions from my current students about the content creation for their YouTube channel or their online business. So I thought I'd share what my setup is so they can actually get past that tech challenge and actually just get recording video. You don't have to have the world's best setup. As long as you can create video and edit video and publish video, then you can grow a YouTube channel. So now in order to see what I can see, I'm just gonna flip the screen, grab my mobile, and then start recording my simple YouTube studio setup. So as I flip the camera around then, this is the view that I see every time I film a video. This is my setup at home in my home studio, and it's a very basic setup. It's just a desk, a MacBook Pro, I've got a camera and some lights and a Rode Podcaster. So basically you have to use what you can get your hands on. I used to use the sun as a light, but now I've just pulled these blinds down and I try and use lights wherever possible. I have a secondary light here. And this just means I can film, at nighttime when the sun actually isn't there, which is quite a lot of times in the UK. This is me in my home setup. And so this is just a very small room. And again, you've got to use what you have. And this is just my desk setup here. So the backdrop, let's start. I actually got, this is just wallpaper that I have that obviously looks like a bit of brickwork, but try and get some kind of backdrop that works for you. Now I've got a couple of shelves here with books. And again, you don't want your backdrop too distracting, but you want it to be in a kind of nice order. So it's a nice aesthetically looking backdrop. Now, what you probably don't see when I'm filming all the time is this little guy. Hey, Loki. This is Mr. Loki. This is my dog. He just sits here in the back. But what I do is I just get a small light and shine it on the back for a backlight. Now I've got one of these smart LEDs in here. It's just a normal lamp with a smart LED, and I can have any color I want in the color palette. So I just either choose like a blue or a purple to actually contrast with the warm lights of the key light and the secondary light. So that's my backdrop. I have just one light shining up the wall, and then I have a couple of bookshelves with some books, and a few memorabilia in that as well. So that's my backdrop. Now I do have some downlighters in my ceiling, but I tend not to use those. So I shut out the main light from the sun, and then I use this light here, which is from Elgato, and it just sticks onto your desk like this. So this is an Elgato key light. And what I love about this is it's so thin, right? So I can travel, and I'm traveling quite a lot. This is the main light that I travel with. So when that turns on, you've got the option to change the intensity, change the softness of the light, the warmth of the light, and it's very good just to sort of have a soft lighting on your side of your face. So I would position that off to one side. If you only have one light, you could position it above the camera, but then you've got to worry about the shadows from left and right. Then I have another smaller light. What's this guy? This is Viltrox. Again, you can, it has a dial on it, so you can adjust the intensity of that light. So basically, your main key light should be a big light off to the side. Your secondary light, again, off to the other side. So it's actually gonna shine a light on both sides of your faces to take out any of those shadows. And then if you have a third light here, you put it by your dog and just shine up the back of your backdrop. So the framing is really important. Like I say, Try and have a nice frame of where you're speaking, but obviously you've got to work with what you have. This is a very small room. This was my office in our house, and this is what I use. So moving on to, that's the lighting. And again, I turn the ceiling lights off. I have them all the way down and just use those 3 lights. So moving on to the microphone. It's so important to get a good mic. This is a Rode Podcaster. Now this is what I use. This is what I've used for years. It does a good job. As you can see, Rode, it just literally plugs into USB. Now here, you will need, if you do have any kind of Apple product, you will need an adapter to try and plug that USB into your USB-C. So that's all it is. It's coming out of the back of the Podcaster and then going straight into my computer. It's as simple as that. I like to keep things as simple as possible. And then I had an arm ordered so I could actually have it on a bit of a shock mount. So if I was to kick my desk or anything like that, it wouldn't reverberate up the microphone. Then I have here, this is a Panasonic Lumix G7, and it's got a great screen that you can flip around and you can actually test the framing. And I just have this is a kit lens that I've got, and you know what, it shoots in 4K. It does the job. You can go to town on buying lots of expensive gear, but just get something that works. You could even use your phone here to actually start up and running and just get some video footage out there and publish it. Here I've actually got this camera plugged into the mains, so I've got a mains source here so it doesn't actually run out, and then I've got a micro HDMI into HDMI, and then this guy here is called a cam link, and this is just your HDMI into your USB-C. So again, that's from Elgato. That is a cam link. That's what you need just to transfer your camera into your MacBook. So then moving on to the setup here, I just have a stand. So when I'm actually sitting down and I'm in front of my computer, the camera is just over my monitor. So I want to do that for a number of reasons. When I'm looking in the camera and then I look down to the monitor, there's not that much of a gap, so I can actually do work on my monitor. So here, what I would do is I use a software called ScreenFlow, and this is ScreenFlow for Mac. So this is a good software you can download onto your desktop and then just record and edit all of your content. Now I love it because here it can actually input or record from your Rode Podcaster, from your Retina display, and from your camera. So those 3 feeds are so important. You're recording from your camera, recording from your microphone, and then you're capturing the screen. And as an example, let's go and show you exactly what this looks like. This is a completely edited video from a couple of weeks ago. And after, I have done another video on how I edit this, but this is just before I render this out. This is what the raw file looks like. I will then render this out and then upload it to YouTube. So that is it. That is my whole YouTube studio setup, from the lighting to the camera to the mic, and exactly which software I use and how I publish my YouTube videos. So hopefully that helped and you found some value in that video. It's a little bit of a different video from what I would usually do. But like I keep saying, growing a YouTube channel is half the battle if you're starting to grow an online business. It will fuel your online business if you set it up in the right way. But in order to help you set up your YouTube account in the right way, I have got a free jumpstart guide. If you're interested, head over to timpeakman.com/YouTube. This jumpstart guide will help you set up your channel in the right way so you get your first 1,000 subscribers on your channel. That link once more, timpeakman.com/YouTube. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.